Okay, let's get into the Rampage Jackson incident. And what can we learn from this particular incident? Because this goes into something that I've been saying for a while about having emotional control. Recently, I've been saying it on YouTube, but I've been saying it for a long time before YouTube. Having emotional control, having control over your emotions is very important. Now, we're going to go into this situation. We're going to play this video. This is the son of the former MMA fighter Rampage Jackson, which he's a legend. And this is his son, right? And we're going to go into this situation and break it down because clearly he has anger issues, and he always had anger issues when you really listen to his story. But we're gonna play this and see what we can learn from this.
This is Rampage Jackson, son of legendary fighter Quentin Rampage Jackson, and if you haven't seen the video yet, he got into some pretty bad shit last night. So to give some backstory to this whole thing, Raja was invited by his friend AJ Mana, someone who's wrestling on the card that night for KnokX Wrestling. Raja even states later that he does not care about wrestling, that he's only here to support his friend AJ.
Yeah, AJ's Mana's on the fight card. That's the only reason why I'm here.
AJ takes Raja to the back to meet the wrestlers that he's familiar with, the ones that he actually knows.
As Presidente, I fucking hate you. I hate this dude. Worse.
And that's when Syko Stu decides to come up behind Raja, stick his belly out, hands at the hips to get some camera time. Raja, unfazed, not caring, just decides to keep talking to the dudes until Syko Stu decides to take matters into his own hands.
Where's the real McKill at? Where's he at?
You don't need to worry about him. You need to be worried about Syko Stu.
Syko Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't.
Now this situation here is completely stupid. This guy Syko Stu should have never hit this guy with a can, whether it was empty or not. I see a lot of people saying, oh, it was an empty can. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't know this individual, and you're coming up and hitting him with an object. Matter of fact, you shouldn't even be in somebody's personal space you don't know, which I know a lot of these white boys like to go get drunk, and when they get drunk at the bar, I know you've dealt with this situation a lot. They'll get in your personal space. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them will get in your personal space and start touching you. And then you got to kind of put them in their place and tell them, listen, man, don't be putting your hands on me, man. Back up. Give me some space. And if it escalates from there where you have to defend yourself, do what you have to do. Right? So I would have understood if, let's say he did that and then maybe he might have slapped him or something like that. I could have understood why he would have did that at this instance. But the situation, right? The situation, regardless, you should always try to de-escalate first. The first thing you should always try to do is de-escalate the situation. But, you know, I understood why he got upset with him hitting him with the can. He doesn't even know this individual. That's a form of disrespect. As a man, you do certain things to men. There's a boundary there where you shouldn't pass, where it becomes disrespect, especially men you don't know. He doesn't know this individual. So you have to have self-control to say, listen, I'm not going to do certain things or say certain things or jest in a certain way to an individual that I don't know. He also should have showed some restraint in this situation for sure, because this is what sparked off the situation. But this is not giving an excuse to Raja, because as you're going to see later on, what he did was absolutely unacceptable. It was completely a lack of self-control, completely emotional. And we're going to get into that.
This is where things start to go south. Unfortunately, the dude was probably pretty drunk already, didn't know what was going on, and saw the...
And being drunk is not an excuse. Whenever I've been drunk, I don't, I know how to control my liquor, but I've been drunk to the point where, you can't drive. I've been drunk to that level, and I've never lost control and disrespected people in this manner. I've never gotten to people's personal space. I can still control myself even when I'm under the influence. So being under the influence, all that really does is show your true nature. It doesn't make you completely incompetent. What it does, it kind of distorts, perception. You think that something is further than it actually is. You're slurring your speech and so on and so forth. But it never caused me to act like that because I have control. Even when I'm under the influence, I have control.
Camera and Raja and thought that this was some sort of skit or that Raja was another pro wrestler recording something for the promotion. Worst part about it being that this guy took one of these prop cans to Raja's head, not knowing that Raja was already recovering from a concussion that he got in light sparring from a spinning kick just a couple days ago.
No, I didn't go with my pops. How does my head feel? I'm still fucked up. I'm not even gonna lie. It's part of the reason why I didn't stream earlier. I was supposed to stream.
And another reason why you don't just come up to somebody and get in their personal space and violate them in that way is because, first of all, you don't know what a person is going through. You don't know who the person is. If the person has a temper, there's many reasons why you don't just, cross boundaries with individuals, strangers that you don't know. Your friends, the boundaries. You have that familiarity with your friends. So you know your friends and you know the boundaries to go with your friends. But like I said, he doesn't know this individual.
I was supposed to stream going to paintballing with AJ, but my head was up. I was throwing up and yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I know I need a rest, but yeah, so I'm gonna take a break from it for a while, but my coach, my lifting coach, one of my teammates, Andre, who was on the stream the last time, is having a pro wrestling show, and I told him I will come and support, and then I wanted to bring you guys with me. You know what I'm saying? Get an MRI. I'm gonna go definitely get checked out on Monday though. Yeah, I was throwing up and shit. My head still feels like funny. I'm not even gonna cap.
You can then hear Stu ask Raja if he's going to sell it when he has to get reminded by his fellow wrestlers that he is not one of them and is not one of the workers.
He's not a worker, bro. Calm down.
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a worker, bro.
What the? Hold on. I don't play that shit.
Oh, sorry.
No, I will come
We're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will. We're good.
I will come up,
I
bro.
know you will.
I don't play that shit.
Sorry, bro.
After telling Raja that he didn't know who he was, Stu then gets reprimanded by AJ. AJ gets pretty upset and lets him know that he's just a worker and that he needs to not be on all the time.
You good. Apologize for that, man. Fix that.
Yeah, even if he was a worker, this is not a practice scene. They're just talking. Why would he just hit him with a can? This is ridiculous. This is a lack of self-control, just crossing boundaries and entitlement. It's a lot of things that go with that, but this was just a stupid thing to do regardless.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Tracy. So what are you going? Good, dude.
No, that dude.
No, so Stu, poquito, cámara el pie.
Then the Samoan
I
Unk
don't
tells
know,
that Stu does this all the time and constantly mistakes stuff for being a part of the storyline.
Sorry about that, dude. He always think that we're working over here like it's part of the storyline.
Just hit me. What kind of homo style shit?
Well, Rampage. That's how we.
No, bro.
Go ahead, Stu. This is all.
After getting rejected twice, Stu realizes that Raja was having no parts of his apology until somebody suggests that Raja can interrupt his match and give him his...
Which like I said, I've been in that situation where certain white boys will get drunk in a bar and then they'll violate. Then you gotta show them, listen, man, just calm down, all right? Just calm down, and then they'll come back, they'll try to shake your hand or whatever the case may be, and you may be still kind of upset and be like, get the hell away from me type thing. But what you try to do is you try to de-escalate the situation, knowing that at the end of the day, you want peace,
his receipt. Then Raja accepts the
I
apology.
appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were a worker.
I get it.
We're working out. Well, he's gonna come out on your mat, Juice. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it. Yeah. I get it now. Now you
You know what I'm saying, Oz? We're always working. So we'll set it up. I'll have him come out during your match so we could seal the whole thing and we'll make something out of it. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Well, now you just involved Rampage himself because that's his boy.
No, he can handle it. Hey,
Yeah, I can handle myself. Yeah, I can handle myself.
Rampage gonna come whoop your ass.
You don't need his dad. He handle his own shit.
Yeah, I got my own.
After setting up the interruption for Raja on Stu's match, AJ comes over and lets him know the game plan and tries to explain what went on with Stu.
I
was in the swing.
No.
What he thought was he was a pro.
And another thing, you're already an established MMA fighter. He has nothing to prove. Why do you think you have to prove yourself to this individual? Now I could beat you. See, that's a thing of insecurity. You know, a lot of you black men have this insecurity that you got to try to prove yourself to be this and prove yourself to be that. You got to put that behind you because that ego is what gets you in trouble a lot of times, man. You know, that testosterone mixed with emotional, emotions, right? Being emotional is very dangerous.
Yeah, another thing is, even when we are working like that, you know.
Exactly.
You know
That's what I'm saying.
That's my point. Even if you're working like that, why would you just come up and smash him in the head with a cat? It doesn't make any sense. He just wanted to kind of, you know, infringe on his space and get in the mix and then, you know, just push the boundaries. Like I said, that's a form of entitlement that some of these people have. It's straight up entitlement, you know, because, you know, it's a level of mutual respect you're supposed to have for a man to keep, you know, especially a man you don't know. You know, there's a boundary.
He don't. He's an idiot. Hey. So when you run in on his, give him his receipt. Remember what a receipt is. Give him that receipt, bro. Tag this shit.
Which his friend should have never said that. This is not something to say, especially, you know, he has a temper and things of that nature. You shouldn't have said that. Whether he was saying it for a joke or whatever, which, you know, he sounds pretty serious here. That's not something he should have even told him. He should have told him to just forget about it. You know, honestly speaking.
Problem with it, I'll fucking run out there. Tag his shit, bro.
After being given the go-ahead to give this guy his receipt, Raja's on go mode for the rest of the night.
I'll get it there. Hey, as long as I get my lick back, I'm straight. I'm straight.
This is kind of the turning point in the night as Raja gets time to chill out and kind of think about everything and gets rage baited by all the comments in the stream.
This nigga got knocked out. I didn't even get knocked out. Why didn't you that guy up? Cause nigga, if I would have done something, then they would have kicked me out of this shit. Then there would be no more stream today. That pissed me off.
But you see, another thing about this is that he's feeding into the comments. See, these comments, all it's doing is feeding the demons that are already inside of this guy. You know, he's feeding into it. He's reading it. You know, he's getting pumped up behind it. See, this is the thing of peer pressure. When you're in high school, you know, there's a dude you didn't even want to fight. You really didn't have a problem with the guy. But, you know, the other kids kept provoking it. So then it ended up turning into a fight. You're like, you know what, I got to do something. See, that's a problem too, you know. And that's why, you know, there's a saying that, you know, there's a bad apple amongst the bunch and it could ruin the rest of the bad apples.
Bro, it didn't even hurt. It just pissed me off. I know this is crazy.
All right, everybody.
This is like my third or fourth string.
Now, at this point of the night, Raja's dad, Rampage, got informed on what's been going on with his son on his kick stream through the comments.
And I would say that Raja himself is a bad apple because of how he had a lack of emotional control from young. Remember, Rampage Jackson always speaks about the time he Raja punched him in the face. That's his father. For you to punch your father in the face, that means you have a low moral boundary. That's unacceptable. Someone that does something like that to put their hands on their parents, he should be shunned. Period. Oh, but he's only 12. He should be shunned. You know, that should be an absolutely uncharted territory to be putting your hands on your parents. You know? And black people, they used to have respect for their parents. You know, now you have black people offing their parents and things of that nature, which you only heard that amongst, you know, white kids and things like that. Of course, you had certain little incidents, but you mainly heard that amongst white people. You didn't hear that amongst black people. That was like untold of. There's comedians that used to joke about that. Now, you got black children unaliving their parents, you know, for different reasons. So this is a degradation of morality. This is a complete degradation of morality. So when you see from time he did that, you already know he's in a bad mental state. He's not thinking right. He doesn't think right, you know? Shouldn't be something cool or something cute. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Raja punched his father in the face. Oh yeah, he punched you? Yeah, he punched me one time. I had to send him to the hospital. That's not cool. And that's good that Rampage did that to him. Because Rampage, you know, you had to show him, you know, who's boss, man, who's the man. You understand? There's something called order. Without order in a society, you cannot have peace. Without order in a society or community, you cannot have peace. Right now, there is no order amongst the black community. It's a matriarchy. There's absolutely no order amongst the black community. And that's how your enemy kept it. Your enemy keeps it that way. Your enemy puts you in that situation.
I'm watching the stream. I'm watching my son's stream. Where the f*** he at the pro wrestling thing? He at a pro wrestling event. Let me call my son. Yeah, he at the pro wrestling event. Around, walking around watching dudes, men in tights and shit. I looked at his stream.
Sorry.
No, it's too loud.
Apologize, right?
Hey,
Yo,
Because when I mentioned
did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights, nigga?
you said what?
Did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights?
No,
Why didn't you tell me?
no.
You got a problem. Do I need to send my goons over there?
No.
This is crazy. I thought we were a family, y'all.
Did
What is going on
your coach
right
take care of
now?
everything?
I apologize. So let me put
Yeah,
y'all in the right
straight.
direction.
You straight? I looked at your stream because my chat was going crazy, and then by the time I popped in your stream, you was hugging on a dude in some damn tights.
Man, shut the fuck up.
See, even that, telling your father to shut the F up, that's completely out of order. I would never tell my pops, shut the F up. You know, that's completely out of order. You know? Even as a joke, I wouldn't say that. You know? And my father, you know, he cracks jokes too. He cracks a lot of jokes, kind of like Rampage, but not the type of weird stuff that Rampage cracks, not those type of jokes. But he cracks jokes and stuff like that, you know? And you may be annoyed at certain times, but that's why you have to show some type of boundaries within yourself. You know, the way he deals with his father, you can see that he's very emotional, man. He's very emotional, you know. And I think that he might have been raised by his mama. I don't know if he's raised by his mama or not, but he seems like he might have been raised by his mama mostly. That's what. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong on that, but he has that type of emotional. He has that emotional mind state, like if he was raised by his mom, like he was raised by a woman.
I looked at your stream, nigga. You were hugging on some dudes, some booty shorts.
I wasn't fucking hugging on nobody.
I saw you, nigga. I saw you hugging on.
So, anyways, let's go to the point of what he did. Okay, let's go to the point of what he did. Let's get to the point, all right? Because, like it said, he was being rage baited by the people in the comments, which these are just trolls. You can't take everything that's in the comments seriously. These are people that are sitting in their boxers with Fruit Loops in front of them, you know? You know what I'm saying? Super big beer bellies, you know, losers telling you about yourself, telling you what to do, telling you this, telling you that. Come on, man. You got to be able to separate, you know, reality from things that are going on the comment section. This, come on, man.
On your coach.
Oh, excuse me. Let's go over here. He's talking about a whole bunch of nothing. Let's go over here.
After getting cooked by the comments, Raja gets impatient and stands up and asks one of the workers when the guy's coming out so he can interrupt and slam the dude.
I don't know when I'm getting in the ring. I can ask. I'm gonna go ask. Let's go ask. Y'all gonna let me know when I'm getting in the ring? Okay.
Right during the next match, I'm gonna sit right behind you. I'm gonna give you a tap to let you know.
All right, bet.
That was the only thing Raja needed to know. Now he knew that he was going to set dude up once he got that signal. And then that signal finally came. Raja then starts to pull everything out of his pocket one by one and hand it over to his trainer. And I think at this point, there was no getting Raja back. He was dead set on what he was going to go in there and do. While Raja gets ready to interrupt the match, the cameraman's getting different angles and even getting a little bit excited for the fight himself.
Oh, let's do this.
I can't really read what they're saying right here, but I know that the guy behind him is the one that gave him the signal to go ahead and interrupt the match.
I'm so sorry.
No, stop it!
That's
You!
See, which I can't. I won't put that on YouTube. Excuse me. I would have to edit that out of YouTube. But what happens is he continues to wail on him, and it was excessive because he was, as soon as he put him to the ground, he was already out. So he started to hit him. Now that's where you get into an attempt charge. You see what I'm saying? Because he literally blacked out. He slammed him. And that's all you needed to do. Even if you slammed him and you knocked him out, you could at least say, oh, well, that's what I came on the stage to do, to slam him. And you got your get back. But you didn't just slam him super duper hard, number one. Right? Which, which you slammed him super hard, right? You not only slammed him, but then you started to wail on this guy on the floor. It doesn't make sense. This is not intelligent. This is fully emotional. This is fully stupid, and there's no excuse for this. There's absolutely no excuse for this, this behavior. And that's because he has a lack of control, and then everyone had to get him off. And then, now, after it's all said and done, now he reflects.
Raja makes it outside of the venue, and as you can see kind of behind him, I want you to pay attention to this dude in the blue. He follows him, he makes some threats to him. He's basically trying to get him to come back. I think what he was trying to do is distract him long enough for the police to come, because I know that they had called the police immediately after that he attacked him. So I'm guessing he was going to try and fight him or stall him long enough to keep him there, or I don't know. Point of it is he was trying to rage bait Raja into fighting somebody else.
Tell the motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real.
See that insecurity, lack of self-control, all of these things, man. All of these things, bro. It's a very dangerous thing to have that mixed with testosterone. Then he knows how to fight. That's very dangerous, man. That's very, very dangerous. And this is why I speak about these things on this channel, because these things are important. These things, if you have a lack of the things I'm speaking about, you could end up in a situation like this, man. Very, very bad, man. Very, very stupid, And then now you want to reflect after the fact. Men are supposed to reflect before the fact. Real men are supposed to assess the situation before it gets out of hand, not after it gets out of hand. Not after it's too late. Women think like that. Men are not supposed to think like that, man. And a woman with sense would think more than this. This is ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. So anyways, that was the video. And hey, this is nothing more than a lack of self-control being emotional. And like I said, there were signs of this from the time he was young, because of what he he did to his father back then. And then on top of that, you add in CTE and all these different things. Hey, this guy is not he's not right. He's not right in the head. He's not, and this is inexcusable. This is inexcusable, man. And not only did you slam him, you kept wailing on the guy, man, for a situation that should have been over after the handshake. And I would have understood if at that time you would have just, gave him a little slap or whatever the case may be. But you waited till after the handshake and all that to do that while he was in a wrestling match. And like I said, they should have never told me, go in and get your lick back. And they should have never said none of that, especially knowing his temper. See, being around a guy like this, a guy with a lack, don't even be around guys with a lack of emotional control, because they can get you in situations. Okay? You could be around them. You could say the wrong thing to them that they thought was disrespectful. And then all of a sudden now you got to fight them to the death. You understand what I'm saying? You stay away from people like this. His mind is not right. And there could be a lot of factors that go into it. Like I said, I don't know if he was raised by his father when he was younger, if he was raised by his mother, because this is a very emotional man. He's very emotional. Okay? So, with that, that's all I had to say, and I'm out.